The parashah for this week, Shoftim. Shoftim means judges. The Torah demonstrates the work of the Messiah, and he himself is the Word made flesh. He is the copy of the Torah in human form. Furthermore, he writes a copy of the Torah as he writes the Torah upon our hearts. And it begins, "You are to appoint judges and officers for all your gates in the cities. Elohim, your God, is giving you, tribe by tribe, and they are to judge the people with righteous judgment. You are not to distort justice or show favoritism. You are not to accept a bribe, for a gift blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words, even of the upright. Justice, only justice you may pursue, so that you will live and inherit the land Elohim, your Elohai, is giving you. You are not to plant any sort of tree as a sacred pole beside the altar of Elohim, your Elohai, that you will make for yourselves. Likewise, do not set up a standing stone. Elohim, your Elohai, hates such things." This is stating that there are to be no trees or standing stones in front of the door to the synagogue, a church, or another area, because this causes a distraction for people who want to enter or exit the building. They must have free access, and the Ruach HaKodesh must flow freely in the presence of the building and throughout. This is part of a holy place, both the exterior and the interior. And the Torah says, you are not to block the entrance in any way. Verse 14 reads, "When you have entered the land Elohim, your Elohai, is giving you, have taken possession of it, and are living there, you may say, I want to have a king over me, like all the other nations around me. In that event, you must appoint as a king the one whom Elohim, your Elohai, will choose. He must be one of your kinsmen. This king you appoint over you. You are forbidden to appoint a foreigner over you, who is not your kinsman. However, he is not to acquire any horses for himself, or have the people return to Egypt to obtain more horses, inasmuch as Elohim told you never to go back that way again. Likewise, he is not to acquire many wives for himself, so that his heart will not turn away. He is not to acquire excessive quantities of silver and gold." This is saying that a leader who you appoint is not to have distractions by the things of this world, distractions by wealth, distractions by having resources. Because as a king, he has resources at his access. Do we do this? Or do we appoint leaders that are not supposed to lead? Verse 18 reads, "When he has come to occupy the throne of his kingdom, he is to write a copy of this Torah for himself in a scroll, from the one the Kohanim and Leviim use. It is to remain with him, and he is to read it every day, as long as he lives, so that he will learn to fear Elohim, his Elohai, and keep all the words of this Torah and the laws and obey them, so that he will not think he is better than his kinsmen, so that he will not turn aside either to the right or to the left of the mitzvah. In this way, he will prolong his reign and that of his children in Israel." Do we adhere to this today? Do our leaders tend to write Torah, or do they just skip over it? Do our leaders guide and govern by Torah? This is a question you must ask before you elect a leader.